Alright guys, welcome back to another Patreon request, and this one is a long, and I do stress, long overdue one for one Gordon Rajani, who asked me to review an entire series, which I regret because it was so goddamn long, and this review is going to be a little short. Because it is so expansive, and I've seen more people talk about this show more in depth than I ever will. So, more or less, I'm just going to tell you guys to go watch it. Like, I'm just going to tell you guys right out the gate, go watch this show. It's a very well-regarded show. It's a very, it's a show that like everyone has talked about, and talked about for decades to tell me to go watch it. And it was a Patreon request, and I was finally like, you know what, fine, fuck it, I will finally review it. It was a request from a Patreon supporter, and as always, I'd like to stress that if you would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, and hit the 4th tier, where you can send me requests to do whatever you'd wish, within reason. You know? This is still YouTube. Guidelines and all that. This ain't OnlyFans. Trust me, you do not want to see me naked. Anyway, so yeah, Gordon Rajani asked me to review Wakfu, the animated series a French animated series that is on Netflix. It's on Netflix, and the show has been like I've been saying, is that it's been talked about for a long time. Like, everyone and their mother has told me to, like, you've got to check out Wakfu. You've got to check out Wakfu, and I'm like, okay. I don't have an interest in it. I don't know, and the other thing is, I don't know why I never really had an interest in Wakfu. I never understood. Like, for me, it was just kind of like there. Like, I never saw the interest for it. Like, but now that I've finally sat down and watched it, and keep in mind, Gordon asked me to review this show for a long time. So I had to sit down and I decided to sit down and watch the entire series. I gotta say, it's actually really damn good. I really enjoyed Wakfu. There is definitely some great storytelling. It actually, like, I would not be shocked if Monty Orm got inspiration for RWBY from this. I would not be shocked if one of the inspirations for RWBY came from Wakfu. So Wakfu also has, I'm gonna say, like, if you enjoyed stuff like Fairy Tail or RWBY, or, you know, your basic, or like something like Dragon Quest or something, you're probably gonna like Wakfu. It basically deals with a bunch of heroes who are dealing with a tower of warriors and villains and collecting energy of Wak. And it is it's bizarre at times. It's out there. It's strange, but at the same time, there's like this endearing quality to it. Like, there are some really fun characters in here. There is some great action scenes. I gotta say, like, these are some of the best action sequences I have ever seen. Like, these are some of the most mind-bendingly awesome action sequences I've seen in some cases, and it's actually a pretty brutal storytelling too. Like, there's one villain who's like Kang the Conqueror, but he's a lot more depressing. Like, his backstory is way more depressing, and like when he actually like achieves his goal of getting what he wants, but not in the way you think, and it's really like broke my heart. I'm trying not to spoil this, so I'm keeping a lot of this vague, because, yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you guys. It's a massive show. There are OVAs, there are, like, manga, I think. There is a lot out there for this content. Now, I'm actually, like, as I watched, and also, it's better you watch this in French, like the original French, because the American dubbing, and while I am kind of, like, okay with either, like, I like dub, the dub is not great, and sometimes it does not sync well with, it just does not sync well with, with the lips. It does not, like, I don't know if that's like if that was an editing thing or whatever, but yeah. It's one of those times where I'm like, alright, I will take, sub over dub. Even though I've never been like, oh, you have to pick sub or dub. There's no other, there's no in between. You have to pick one or you're a fucking loser. And I'm like, no, you don't. You can just watch whatever you like. So, yeah. It also blows my mind that, like, shows like Code Lyoko and Totally Spies, like, they came over here. Do you guys remember Magoozy? Do you guys, like, remember Magoozy? With that thing that weird thing that replaced Toonami for a hot minute, but at the same time introduced us to Code Lyoko and, like, Totally Spies. Yeah. I'm surprised Wakfu didn't come over here with Code Lyoko and Totally Spies during that French animation era on Magoozy. Like, I'm surprised it did, and I heard, like, it did show up in other countries for Magoozy and Cartoon Network, but, like, I don't know if that's true or not. So it's kind of cool that I finished watching the show and I was like, where the hell was this? Where the hell was this? Why wasn't this dubbed and brought over? And yeah. It blows my mind that it took me so long to finally watch this. So you guys can thank Gordon Rajani for having me do this. Now, like I said, I'm being pretty vague on this, but the review, because it's so expansive, I don't want to get, I'm tired enough as it is from work, so I'm trying, and also I want you guys to just experience it. This really is one of those shows where it's like, it's really hard to talk about, but if you enjoyed, like, Fairy Tail, Dragon Age, Ruby, you're probably gonna like Wakfu. And also a little bit of Dragon Ball Z in there, yeah, you're definitely gonna like Wakfu. So I know this isn't a super in-depth review, but I was like, I thought I did like 7 different videos of this, and then I was finally like, you know what? There's no way I can do justice to an entire show like this. It's more like just me gonna be saying, I love this show. Go check it out. You need to watch it. So thank Gordon Rajani for this. And you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Wakfu if you've seen it? Do you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. And as always, like I said earlier, if you would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon. Other than that, I am Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.